It's been nearly 3 years since this movie released, and it's baffling to realize that the soundtrack of Jab Harry Met Sejal has still not received its due credit in all these years. What went wrong? Let's backtrack. Music has been an integral part of Bollywood movies for centuries now, and its importance for the success of a film is unparalleled. Whereas nowadays it's common for producers to use catchy music albums to market below average films, a lot of the times music actually accelerates a really good movie and aids in establishing said movie to a legendary status. And this can be any more true than in the case of Imtiaz Ali, whose continuous collaborations with A.R. Rahman has produced some of the most engaging music of modern times, be it the soulful and rebellious music of Rockstar and Highway, or the uncomfortably chilling themes of Tamasha. So when it was first announced that my favorite director would be collaborating with the biggest actor of the modern era, I couldn't help but drool over the idea of three of my most favorite personalities working together for the very first time on a film that was originally slated to release on my birthday. Take that as you will. It wasn't long after that though, that was announced that A.R. Rahman would not be producing music for this film. It would actually be Preetham, someone who has made a huge name for himself over all these years, but has also become synonymous with stolen art. And the doubt kicked in after that. There was no way Preetham was gonna do justice to an Imtiaz Ali film, let alone one that happens to star Shah Rukh. And so among all these personal reservations, Jab Harry Met Sejal released. And the movie was, how do I put it, underwhelming. And what was the best part about it? Its music. See, I don't like to throw around big words just to make a point, but it has to be said. The soundtrack of Jab Harry Met Sejal was hands down Preetham's masterpiece and a reminder to all of us about just how talented the musician is. Coupled with Irshad Kamil, who as we all know is untouchable when it comes to penning songs in Imtiaz Ali films, they produce magic on celluloid, which sadly we haven't yet stopped and admired for a split second ever since. Safar, being at the helm of this album, perfectly encapsulates most of Imtiaz Ali protagonists that we have grown on to admire over the years. Protagonists who are lost and go on this journey of self-discovery in his films. Whether it be Jordan, Aditya, Veera, or even Harry, they all were shadows of Imtiaz's own fascination with self-deprecation and skepticism about oneself, and who set on a figurative or even literal journey to find themselves. I mean, there's after all a reason why his production house is named Window Seat Films. The song flirts with the idea of isolation in crowd that a lot of us are silently dealing with on a day-to-day basis, as Ved mentions this in Tamasha, we're in a race we don't have a single clue about. Something that has not only blindfolded us of any real aspirations that we have, but also made it so easy for us to let go of any genuine connections that we make throughout this journey, preventing us from coming any closer to becoming the best version of ourselves in this one life that we get. The lyrics which go like, जब से गांव से मैं शहर हुआ, इतना कड़वा हो गया कि जहर हुआ मैं तो रोजाना. These lyrics hit you, and they hit you hard if you're in similar shoes. Listen to Safar again now, and it will start making sense to you that the real protagonist of Safar is us. And that brings me to the two songs from Jab Harry Met Sejal that I truly believe are two of the most underrated SRK songs ever, Ghar and Yadon Mein. Two songs most people didn't give two shits about when they were released. Two songs a lot of the people haven't even heard of again after watching the movie. Two songs that if you listen in the perfect situation make you sad, strangely in the best way possible. Whereas Yadon Mein was uplifted by the truly magical vocals by its singers Jonita Gandhi, Muhammad Irfan and the Portuguese artist Cuca Rosita, Ghar, which appears towards the climax of the film, was the response to whatever we learned in Safar. While Safar was this cry of desperation that we see in Imtiaz's protagonists, Ghar was the help. It was the antidote to all the vulnerabilities that we see in those characters and in association, ourselves, that we've been missing all along. Ghar, which literally translates to house, was the perfect analogy used to oppose the idea of Safar and be that ray of hope in our lives that Tara was for Ved, Heer was for Aditya, or Mahabir was for Veera. The lyrics, which go like, घूमे फिरे तू चाहे सब शहर तू है मेरा, खाली है जो तेरे बिना, मैं वो घर हूँ तेरा, act as a warm hug to us lost souls who constantly feel disconnected with our surroundings, reassuring us of what we mean or may end up meaning to someone else. Why these songs didn't work is still something I haven't been able to figure out. Was it because the album had 13 songs in total which couldn't have been prioritized all at once? Or was it because of the fact that Sony was in an experimental phase at that time, trying to test relevance of a music album released after the actual movie's release? Whatever the case be, it's time to right that wrong and give some credit where it's due. Thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed making it. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this in the comment section down below. But before I let you go, I have a very quick announcement to make about this channel. I've been fortunate enough to get some help in the production of these videos going forward, which is why a decision was made to rebrand this channel. And it's only fitting because it's no longer about me alone, but the team who would be working with me and the subscribers who will now be taking active part in the content being produced. This means more interactive sessions, more time for me to work on the actual scripts, and hopefully more quality videos going forward. Please note that we're not making any money out of this yet, so your active support is needed now more than ever. And how can you support? Be a part of this journey with us. Go to our channel, watch other videos that interest you, leave your comments and suggestions in those videos about how we can improve or what should we make next. Also, subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about it who are passionate about films. With that said, I'm pleased to announce that going forward, this channel will be called Filmanter.